React Router is a standard client routing library in React which enables the navigation among views of various components in a React application. It can run anywhere. React runs like on the web and also on React Native. It does have server-side routers as well. The React Router version 6 has introduced several powerful new features along with improved compatibility with React's latest versions. Let me remind you that version 6 does make heavy use of React hooks, so you will need to be on React 16.8 or greater before you attempt to upgrade to router version 6. If you are on version 4 or 5, then you should be able to upgrade to React without disturbing any of your router code. So make sure that you have upgraded to React 16.8 or higher, then deploy your app. You can check the official React documentation to know more about how to upgrade from version 4 to 5 and to 5.1, as it will be easier to make the switch to React Router version 6 if you upgrade to version 5.1. Now let's talk about how to install the React Router. To install it, you just have to say npm install or yarn add. You just say react-router-dom. If you are using the native router, you have to say React Router native, but here we are checking the DOM router, so I'm just saying React Router DOM, and you have to use the version number if you want to make sure. Otherwise, anyway it's going to download the latest version. If you want to be sure that it is downloading the exact version, use the syntax where you have the @ sign and then the version name. The first change I would like to emphasize is that we could use switch to wrap our routes in version 5, but in version 6, switch is not exported from the React Router DOM. Now we'll have to use the routes to do the same thing instead of switch. Routes is kind of switch only, but a lot more powerful as it leads to leaner, more predictable code, and also they can be nested in one place instead of being spread out in the different components. So if you check this version 5 code, we had the switch and we did not have routes. And here, as you can see in the version 6 code, we have the browser router, and inside you have the routes as the parent component, and then inside the routes component you define various route components. The second thing is the component that should be rendered on matching a route cannot be returned as children of the route component, but it takes a prop called element where we have to pass a JSX component to be rendered. Another important reason for using the element prop in version 6 is that route children is reserved for nesting routes. So here you see that version 5 code had the home or products component this way, whereas in case of version 6, we don't need to have the component as a children, but we just give the element and the component name inside the curly brackets. Another thing is that we don't need to install the React Router config separately. React Router config allowed us to define our routes as JavaScript objects instead of React elements, and all its functionalities have now moved to the core React Router version 6. The next important change is that we don't have use history now. We use the use navigate instead. The React Router version 6 introduces a new navigation API that is synonymous with link and provides better compatibility with suspense enabled apps. In version 6, this app should be rewritten to use the navigate API. Most of the time this means changing the use history to use navigate. We also don't have the redirect. We use navigate now in the version 6. Redirect is no longer exported from React Router DOM. We can use the navigate to achieve the same features instead. Here is the comparative code for both version 5 and version 6. Do note that the replace prop is passed inside the element of the route, which signifies that we are replacing the current navigation stack. Without replace, it would mean we are just pushing the component in the existing navigation stack. The next is you don't need the exact prop anymore. So it's basically React Router's better path matching algorithm enables us to match a particular route match without the exact prop. Earlier, without exact, any URL starting with the concerned keyword would be loaded as the matching process was done from top to down the route definitions. You don't need to worry about that now, as React Router has a better algorithm for loading the best route for a particular URL. The order of defining does not really matter now. So these are just few features of React Router version 6.